Okay, now let's see. Oh, Weenie Savage was on Bill Maher the other day, and well, it's not like I want to pick on Dan Savage. I mean, who am I to pick on Dan Savage? Right? I'm just a meager podcaster here. Who gives a shit what I say? But in a way, it does bother me. It annoys the shit out of me when you have a pompous asshole like Weenie Dan Savage up there, dancing around and prancing around mostly about how great he is, and oh yeah, he wears a pink shirt because I'm gay, and look at me, I'm a gay guy, we're all like this. Fuck no, we're not like you, Dan. Shut up. So what is he selling on the Bill Maher show today? And I like Bill Maher. I think it's a great show. Sometimes it goes a little downhill, and this is one of them, but I mean, I like to watch Bill Maher every week, but if I see characters like Dan Savage on there, who in a way degrade gay people, gay guys in general, he goes out there and defames us, basically. So, it really annoys me. Look at me, I started It Gets Better campaign. What are you selling now, Dan? What's your latest snake oil? Rattlesnake. Here he is on Bill Maher.
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows the It Gets Better program. That's you. That's your baby.
It Gets Better. Bullshit.
My husband and I founded the It Gets Better project.
Oh yeah.
And there really has been.
See, there he is. There he is. My husband and I, we founded It Gets Better. You needed a lot of money for that stuff. Who helped you with that? It was Google, by the way, because they own YouTube. And it was basically a scheme to get people to... Well, it was a scheme to promote YouTube, basically, to promote Google products. Nothing wrong with that. But I think it's wrong when you use a very serious issue, mental health issue, of gay teen suicide. And by the way, ever since we had this It Gets Better campaign going, there's been an increase in LGBT youth suicide. By the way, I just want to let you know, okay? I'm not here to bust any balls, but reality check.
Quite a surge this year for gay. I mean, the dominoes are falling. There's never been a better time. I'm on the waiting list myself.
I'll put in a good word for you.
I'll put in a good word for you.
I mean,
No.
See, that's the kind of thing that really bugs me about him. And people like him. It's not just him. I know people like that. I'll put in a good word for you. Put it in a good word. See, because he has this mentality that he is the puppet master of the gay community. He's the one that tells us when to boycott Stoli vodka and which vodkas to boycott and all this bullshit, man. It's crap. And there are a lot of gay guys that take this shit. You know, they say, oh yeah, he's pretty awesome. A bunch of fucking dupes. Dupes. But whatever.
I think anybody who's gay, lesbian, bi, or trans who's out can take a huge share of the credit for it. All of us, by coming out to our families, coming out to our friends, coming out to our coworkers, really changed the world. That's why we've seen such rapid progress. 40, 50 years ago, nobody was out, and it was really rare for people to be accepting of their openly gay children because it was really rare for people to have openly gay children. And
I mean, look at the way he talks. It's like he's trying to sound serious, but you can't take him serious because he's laughing. He's smiling. He has this weird eye movement. I don't know. It's pretty weird. It seems like a guy that I wouldn't trust a bit. And by the way, his husband, poor husband, man, poor husband. But I know he's in it for the money. I mean, that's all he is. I mean, I know that Dan Savage is worth more than $1 million. He's now a millionaire, by the way. I think that's, yeah, he's worth over $1 million now. He's a millionaire technically. Great, great for him. But I just don't appreciate the way that he's operating. He's annoying. He's annoying. I mean, there's so many other good people out there who are doing good things for the gay community. You know, those who are working the phone banks and are trying to help gay people from killing themselves. And what is this asshole doing? Going on Bill Maher? Oh, yeah. Oh, great.
People coming out post-Stonewall, the Stonewall riots, and telling their truth and living with integrity at a time
living with integrity.
a lot riskier. That changed people's lives.
And now the Supreme Court has joined in, and you wrote an article called "I Can Die Now" because there is a practical financial
hopefully he
policy
does.
element to that.
Right.
You were getting at in that article, correct?
My, for 15 years, my husband's been a stay.
I mean, who cares what Dan Savage says about that? I mean, look, I have things to say about what the Supreme Court did. I write shit, but who cares? I mean, who really does care what Dan Savage has to say about that? I mean, what is he? He's not a legal scholar. He's not a historian. He's a sex columnist. He talks about sex. Why don't you talk about that, Dan? Why don't you just stay with your expertise? Talk about sex. Nothing wrong with being a sex columnist. Nothing wrong with giving sex advice. A lot of people, a lot of couples, gay and straight, need somebody else to give them advice on sexual relationships and sexual activity. I understand that. So stick with that, Dan. But no, the little attention whore needs more than that. What does he have to offer, by the way? He has nothing to offer. He's not funny. He's not creative. What is he? He just writes books, or he's like a sex columnist, and then he did this meaningless cliche campaign that means anything. It gets better. Oh, yeah? It gets better how? I don't know. Yeah, it just gets better. Just do a video on YouTube and that's it. And guess what happened? We have all these little, gay kids committing suicide still, more than ever before. Maybe it's because more people are talking about the suicide on the internet that it kind of, I don't know, that idea gets implanted in their head. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a mental health professional, but what I've been told is that the best way to combat suicide is therapy. Therapy and sometimes medication. Okay? Nothing wrong with going to therapy. You can feel better. I've been to therapy. It's a great thing to do. People should get therapy whenever they feel a little down in the weather. Okay? But listening to this asswipe is not the solution. Let me just say that.
Parent, we have a 15-year-old son that we adopted at birth, and for 15 years,
oh, poor son.
On me that if something happened to me, if I was on a plane that crashed, if one of these douchebags who are always threatening to kill me made good on it, that it wasn't just that my husband would lose a partner and my son would lose his father.
They're threatening to kill me. Have they killed you yet? Have they even touched you yet? Oh my God. Oh, we're supposed to be what? I don't know. And you know why he's being threatened to be killed? It's not because he's gay. Because he's an annoying little asswipe. That's why.
One of his fathers, that they would not get my Social Security survivor benefits because my husband is not my wife. That my husband would pay a crushing tax burden in the wake of my death because everything that he inherited would have to be taxed as it.
Sorry about that. Keeps pausing for a second. Hold on. What the hell's the matter with this shit? Fucking A.
That my husband would pay a crushing tax burden in the wake of my death because everything that he inherited would have to be taxed as it was a gift, as if we were strangers to each other. And so we would lose our house, and my son and my husband, in the wake of my death...
You can't really take this guy seriously. You can't.
And then you had douchebags like Rick Santorum and Maggie Gallagher running around saying that persecuting my husband and son in the event of my death somehow made other people's families stronger, somehow strengthened straight people's marriages, if I had to live with this vulnerability all my life.
Oh, everybody is having it. Oh, yeah. Oh, Dan Savage, let me suck your cock.
That's what's fucking up my marriage. There are gay people living down the street.
Hypothetical
can't get an erection under those conditions.
That's funny, though.
I never understood.
That's funny. Bill Maher is funny. Dan Savage, not funny.
I know. And so what happened when the Supreme Court overturned Section 3 of DOMA was that weight was lifted from my shoulders that morning. I no longer had to fear that if something happened to me, my husband and son would be made to suffer unnecessarily.
And how long have you been with your husband?
Don't worry, your son is already suffering.
Your son?
Our son is almost 16. We have a 15-year-old.
Oh, I assume you adopt.
This kid needs to leave the house. Poor kid. I don't want my kid to suffer. He's already suffering right now, Dan. I mean, imagine Dan Savage trying to be a parent to this kid. Oh, God. Fucking little annoying prick. Being all strict and shit. And pompous. I know why he had that kid. Is to, to get attention. That's why he did that. So this kid can worship him. Do all the chores and all that shit. Okay, what's the kid's name, by the way? I never... It doesn't say, but... I know what kind of name he... Trevor, right? Trevor? Trevor! Don't forget to rearrange the pantry in alphabetical order. I imagine that Dan Savage will run his household like that. Totally a prick ass. I bet you that's how he runs his household. This guy, Dan Savage, is a total prick and an ass wipe. How many times do I have to say that? I guess many times.
Yes, we did. It wasn't, well, I'm always telling people who say two men can't make a baby, anything is possible for God. Like, I'm going to keep inseminating my husband and keep my fingers crossed. Maybe.
Well, look. And of course, the Republicans and the table there with Bill are like, ugh. But here's the thing. It's Bill Maher. It's a funny show. I understand. It's comedic. Okay? Great, trying to inseminate my husband. This is a guy that is trying to prevent suicide? Really? Imagine if somebody like the executive director of the Trevor Project or Glesson or any of these people who work with youth talking like this, and I'm inseminating my husband. Imagine if his 15-year-old kid is watching Bill Maher. Oh shit. Imagine that. Imagine if his 15-year-old kid is watching this on television and say, "Oh my God, what? My dad inseminated." Oh, it's just so gross. It is. Oh, fucking A. Now I have a bad taste in my mouth. I don't want to be inseminated by Dan Savage. Do you? I don't. Inseminating. He's trying to inseminate my husband. And this is the guy who wants to stop gay teen suicide. Really? This is the guy who wants to work with youth, talking like this. Holy, he talks about many times in the past how he was bullied, and he says, "Oh, I've been bullied when I was a kid in school because I was a gay. I was obviously gay." I remember his little goofy "It Gets Better" video, the one he made with his husband. Poor guy was there, like, looking down, like, he looked pretty miserable. Let me just say that. Then Dan Savage goes, when I was a little kid, when I was a kid in school, they bullied me because I was obviously gay. No, you moron, because you were obviously a fucking douche and an annoying douche. I mean, no wonder we get bullied. No wonder a lot of straight people hate us because of people like Dan. So superficial, and I don't give a shit. It's all about me, and oh my God, I'm inseminating my husband. And oh, but I'm doing a serious campaign to stop gay kids from killing themselves. Okay. Meanwhile, while we're doing that, I'm gonna go and inseminate my husband, and then I'm gonna, make my kids lunch for school tomorrow. Bag his lunch. Well, what kind of a human being talks like that? Fucking weird, I don't know. It's fine if you talk like that. I don't care if you if you say, I'm inseminating my husband. I inseminated a few people. Most of the time, I'm the one who got inseminated anyway. But I never knew that Dan Savage was the top. Was really a top. No, he's versatile, right? He's versatile. He doesn't make that much money just to be exclusively a top. Okay. He has to give up that ugly Jew ass of him. He has to give it up to his husband once in a while, We need that. Inseminate that ass! Oh my god. And look, I don't care if he says that. It's funny, yeah, it's funny, but how can you be first like this and then switch around and talk about don't bully people? Oh, now we're serious. Now let's make a campaign about how to stop bullying and upload videos. And yes, it's important. It's a very serious issue now. I don't know. It just sounds pretty weird. You're talking about inseminating your husband, and now you're talking about working with vulnerable youth who want to kill themselves. I don't know. Look, I'm a pervert myself, right? I talk about a lot of shit on this show, but I don't go out there trying to be a hero. I'm not a hero. I'm weak. I'm scared of doing anything. I'm scared of even buying a hamburger sometimes. That's how I am. But I just don't see this kind of a person being a serious. How can I put this? Dan Savage is not a serious person to look up to. He's not a role model of any sort. And when I see these dupes and morons saying, "Oh my God, Dan Savage is so smart. Ooh, I love him. I'm gonna kiss his ass. I want him to shit all over my chest because I'm into scat." Let's talk about sex. It's fine. You can talk about that. But if you want to talk about that, how can you sound serious about a serious mental health issue while you're talking about inseminating your husband and shitting on somebody's chest? I don't know. But there you have it. Dan Savage, little weenie. He's a little weenie, but there he is, talking about inseminating his husband. Oh yeah. Keep doing it, by the way. Soon you will have a real baby. Imagine a little Dan baby, a little Dan Savage baby. Ugh. Fucking gross. Probably look like a cactus.